So before we get started, I know a lot of you guys have no idea who I am, and this is y'all first time probably being on the workshop with me. So I do want to just kind of share something really quick. It ain't even gonna take too much of your time. A couple years ago, I did over $500,000 with my first digital program called Digital Real Estate. It was first called Pay to Lead. I was over to do over $500,000 before the age of 30. This was probably back, probably before the age of 26. I was able to do $500,000 with my program. This is where I taught people how to monetize on social media, how to grow their brand, and yeah, pretty much monetize. The following year, I collaborated, co-founded a financial group where we offered several different products, and we did over 10 million. Really, we did 12 million in a year. The following year, all digital products, and we actually had $1 million day. During that time, I was actually ranked top 30 by Yahoo Finance to follow during COVID-19 because obviously y'all maybe not don't know, but digital real estate is something that I coined, at least in our community. I didn't know nobody else saying that before I did. So that was my way of teaching people about, hey, physical real estate, you can make money with these physical homes, but what if you got digital assets and you getting paid for those? What about if you got digital properties and you getting residual income from those? So that's the concept of what I mean when I say digital real estate.
All right. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful framework for turning what you already know into a real source of income. It's a concept called digital real estate, based on the work of entrepreneur Brother Ben X. And honestly, it might just change the way you think about value altogether. So let me just ask you this. Imagine for a second, what if you owned a house, a physical house, that everyone on the entire planet could rent, all at the same time? I mean, that's impossible, right? But that exact idea, that's the key that unlocks this entire concept. So what is digital real estate? Well, think of it this way. It's an asset, like an online course or an ebook. Now, unlike a physical house where only one family can live, you can sell your digital product to one person or 100 or 1,000,000 people, all at the same time, and you never run out. That infinite scalability, that's the magic right there. And what does the stuff actually look like? Well, it usually takes a few common forms, all built from the same thing, your knowledge. You've got your ebooks, right? Pretty straightforward. You have masterclasses, which are usually more focused trainings. Then there are full-blown programs or courses. And you can even go to high-level group coaching communities, often called masterminds. Okay, but let's be real. Why would anybody actually buy this stuff? It all comes down to one simple thing: solving problems. Your knowledge is valuable because it's a solution that somebody out there is actively searching for online, probably right now. And when you dig into it, you find that almost every valuable digital product helps people do one of three things. People will gladly pay you if you can help them save time or energy, help them save money, or help them make more money. If your idea hits one of those three buttons, you've got something with real value. So you have something valuable, but how do you show people it's valuable? That's the real trick. And this quote, man, it just nails it. The part that really stands out is, the more they trust you, the easier they buy. Trust is everything, but there's actually a science to building it. And that quote is actually part of a bigger framework from entrepreneur Alex Hormozi called the value equation. It basically gives you 4 levers you can pull to make your offer irresistible. First, promise a crystal clear dream outcome. Second, show them why they're very likely to succeed with your help. And then, here's the kicker, drastically decrease the time and the effort it takes for them to get there. The better you pull these levers, the more valuable your offer becomes. Okay, all that theory is great, but let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk money. This is where it gets really fun because we're going to see how small, totally achievable numbers can lead to a really significant income, like $5,000 a month. So let's start with something simple. Let's say you create an ebook, nothing too crazy, and you price it at a very accessible $47. This is where a lot of people start. Now, to hit that $5,000 a month goal with that little $47 ebook, what do you think you need? 100 sales a day? 50? No, you need 4. Just 4 sales a day. All of a sudden, that big number feels kind of doable, right? Okay, cool. Now let's say you level up a bit. Instead of an ebook, you create a more in-depth masterclass. You price this one at $97. So you've almost doubled the price. And guess what happens to the work? It gets cut in half. Now you only need 2 sales a day to hit that exact same $5,000 monthly goal. See how that works? But what if we go even bigger? Let's talk about a full-on program, a comprehensive course. We're talking a higher price point here, something like $997. And just look at this. This is where the mask gets absolutely wild. We're not even talking about daily sales anymore. To hit $5,000 a month, you only need to sell 5 of these. 5 sales for the entire month. That is the power of creating and pricing a high-value offer. So you're probably thinking, okay, the math is cool, but what would I even sell? And the answer is actually simpler than you think. The most valuable asset you have in this whole thing is you, your experience. I want you to really think about this. Have you ever solved a really tough problem or mastered a skill and then looked back and thought, man, if only I knew then what I know now? Well, guess what? Someone out there is in that then phase right now. And that knowledge you fought for, that's a product. Okay, so let's say you've got an idea. Now what? Well, the source material we're looking at lays out 2 main paths you can take to get started building this digital real estate. On one hand, you've got what the author calls the hard way. This is you trying to figure everything out on your own. The tech, the marketing, creating the product, and honestly, the risk of just getting overwhelmed and quitting is super high. He contrasts that with the easy way, which is framed as using a pre-built system like his, with products and a community to help you get going and earn while you're still learning the ropes. But look, whichever path you even think about, the core principle is exactly the same. Your offer has to be a no-brainer. It needs to be so obviously valuable that the customer feels like they have to say yes. Let's look at a few examples of this in action. Okay, check this out. A $47 meal prep guide. Now, what's the real cost of the problem it solves? The stress of what's from dinner, the wasted time, grabbing expensive takeout, that could easily be hundreds of dollars a month, right? So paying $47 one time to solve that massive recurring headache, that's an easy yes. Or how about this one? A simple budget tracker for $27. The problem? Well, for a lot of people, it's thousands of dollars a year just vanishing from their accounts because they're not tracking it. So you're asking them to trade $27 to potentially save thousands. Again, the value is just huge in comparison. It makes the decision simple. And this works just as well for offers that help people make money. Let's say you have a class on starting a side hustle for $500. If that class has the potential to help someone earn an extra $6,000 a year, you're not just selling a $500 course. You're selling a machine that turns $500 into $6,000. The return on investment is a complete no-brainer. So it all boils down to this one crucial point. The value of what you're offering has to feel way bigger than the price. Your job is to make the solution feel so massive, so much larger than the price tag, that buying it is the only logical choice. The goal? Make it feel at least 10 times more valuable than what you're asking. And that really brings us full circle. Back to you. Your knowledge, your skills, your story. Those aren't just things that happen to you. They are legitimate assets. So the question I want to leave you with is this. What's one piece of your experience that you could package up into your very own piece of digital real estate?